Hello, welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So let's talk about The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 2. This will be my review, non-spoilers at the start, then we'll get into spoilers. Really enjoying this season so far. Really enjoying it. It's got such a good vibe. Nice, sort of wholesome family fun, but definitely catering towards Star Wars fans and just, you know, randos alike. You know, it's not just fans. You know, I myself, I like Star Wars. I don't have any massive emotional connection to it, but The Mandalorian is, you know, I'm a fan of The Mandalorian. Let's put it that way. I do like it quite a lot, and I know the difference in tone, how it compares to the prequels, the sequels, and then the original trilogy. There's definitely, you know, a good tonality there to the original George Lucas stuff. So basically, this one's called The Passenger. We open up back on Tatooine, and it's another kind of mystery chase. Get one thing to one place to then go to the next one, right? It's a quest. And that's kind of what the first season was. And I don't hate it. You know, I acknowledge that it's definitely quest searching. It's, I need to get this over to here to then get some information for the next thing. But I like that. You know, it doesn't have to constantly build to, you know, it is building towards something, obviously. But every single episode doesn't have to be very obvious in how it builds towards that overall, you know, that massive overarching narrative. It doesn't have to. So we closed, obviously, the last episode with Boba Fett, you know, turning around, and that was on Tatooine. And I wrongly said in my last episode that I think they'll stay on Tatooine, because it seemed it. All that was dashed to one side, which is good, actually, because I think that subversion of expectations isn't a bad thing. It also goes to show us that this whole Boba Fett thing will turn up in future episodes. It's not going to be hard hit straight away, which is good from a narrative perspective. It's good because it tells us, well, we've got more to watch. You know, they're dropping in these bits and pieces as we go along. I like it a lot. Now, this here is actually a screenshot from the episode itself. So obviously they do end up on an ice planet. Basically, they start out on Tatooine. He has to go to another planet, and then things ensue. He doesn't quite make it to the planet, but that's it. There's no major story outside of that. We get some new creatures. Again, I'm not like hugely familiar with the extended universe or the games. I played some of the Old Republic, but I've never seen these creatures before. They look new to me. So we get some new creatures. We get some favourites. The X-Wings come back. But there's not a whole lot of spoilers. The child makes a pretty big appearance in this episode, so the baby Yoda, and he's great. He's really good. He's still this sort of lovable little cheeky scamp that's scampering around. A little bit more CGI on him in this episode because he does some things that requires it, and it held up. It held up. I'm still massively blown away by the fact that they filmed this on like big LED environments. You know, I really am blown away by that. And again, like I said in the previous episode, is that I am, now that I know it, I am kind of watching and waiting to see whether it's overt, whether I can really see it or not. And I still really struggle. Like, I do really struggle. And I think that's good. It's a testament to the technology. It's fantastic. The acting was great. The jokes were great. But again, it's family stuff, you know? And it's still this nice slow pace. A lot of people have kind of ripped on the fact that the first episode was very slow. But I do stand by my comments on you have to reset at the end of a first season, or any season, as it ramps up to this kind of big ultimate build. I think you do have to pull it back, and you do have to start slow again. And this was, again, nice. The pace has picked up. This was a 40-minute episode. The pace has definitely picked up a little bit more, but it's still a bit slow. And I think that's good, because they dropped the seed of Boba Fett in the first episode. He's not in this episode. That's not a spoiler, because I'm not telling you what is in the episode. But he's not in it. And the fact that that is still there being teased, that we are going to see him again, obviously, of course we are. All of this stuff is good. It builds towards anticipation for more and more episodes. Well, is he going to be in the next one? What's going to happen in the next one? Are we going to see this? Are we going to see that? And that's good. So the slow pace to one side, with all of these teasers and dropping in of these other things that are going to happen, I think it works out really well. Jin Darin, I think his name was. I can't quite remember how to pronounce his name. But he's great. Like, Pedro Pascal does a really good job on, subtly bringing nuance to the performance. Because it is. Like, it's a real subtle performance, isn't it? He's not massively, brusque with his kind of wording and stuff like that. He's very much nuanced performance. And I like that a lot as well. Like, it's good. It's good to see him, again, sort of slowly start to come out of his shell. Again, good. Very, very good. Environments were good. CG was good. There was nothing in this episode that I looked at and was like, oh, that's terrible. Music was good. I overall really, really like The Mandalorian. So, and this episode, I guess you could kind of say is filler, but it's not, because it is building towards more things, and it also helps to add to that anticipation of the fact that Boba Fett will come back in a future episode. That's kind of what you need to, keep into account here, is that you have to have slow down episodes in an overarching narrative to get that anticipation building for further episodes. If you don't have them, then you sort of blow your load immediately. No one likes it when you blow your load immediately. So anyway, let's touch on some spoilers now, shall we? Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Let's get into spoilers. Right, okay, so I was definitely wrong about staying on Tatooine, because obviously I looked at the trailer, and we've seen the speeder bike in the trailer and the armor, Boba Fett's armor on the speeder bike, and I wrongly assumed that would continue, that was going to be Tatooine. Now, I don't know whether that was something which has been left on the cutting room floor. I need to go back and double check the trailer, but I don't think that was in the trailer, basically. So we open with a really, really good scene, which I did think was a bit dumb. This is my only gripe, but I couldn't touch on it in non-spoilers, is that Din Djarin, or whatever his name is, the Mandalorian, Mando, is speeding through Tatooine, and he gets to a rocky outcrop, right? And there's an ambush. Obviously, they say get the child, so I think they clearly know who this guy is. They clearly know who Mandalorian is. And they set a rope up. It's a rope. They set a rope up across the canyon, this sort of cavern bit, and Mandalorian doesn't preempt that this is potentially an ambush place. I don't know. I thought that was really dumb. Anyway, he gets ambushed. Speeder bike blows up, and then a Jawa threatens to kill the child, but he barters with the Jawa for his jetpack. The jetpack, he takes the jetpack, and then he on his little wrist thing and gets his jetpack back plus the child. So he double crosses the Jawa, but to hell with the Jawa. And then he walks back to the town. Now, a lot of people will probably go, well, why didn't he just jetpack back? Well, probably a fueling thing, actually. Because he used a lot of the fuel in the fight with the Crate Dragon, and then he used even more fuel with the Jawa, getting the jetpack back. So I don't know, but I think their argument would be fuel. He doesn't have the fuel for it. So he walks back into town, and he's still looking for more Mandalorians. He hears that if he gives someone a lift to another planet, that he will get more information on the Mandalorians, or that they are on that planet. I can't remember which. Anyway, it turns out it's a giant frog, basically, and she's looking to take her eggs back to this planet because her husband is there. She needs them fertilized. And the child proceeds to keep eating her baby eggs throughout this episode, which is very cute, very funny, and goes to show his sort of ambiguous force bias, I guess, because he's neither good nor bad, is he? He's very much a neutral member of, the force-wielding community. Clearly, Jedis wouldn't really run about eating and destroying babies, so he's very much a neutral power set in this whole force game, which I like. I think that reaffirms that anyway. And he doesn't do anything force-powered this episode, but again, it's that sort of building the anticipation. Is he going to do it? What's he going to do? So anyway, they jet set off, but obviously they can't fly at hyperspace. They have to go sublight, I think it's called. And Mandalorian's not happy about doing this. He runs off all the risks. Anyway, they get coerced by the X-Wings. The X-Wings pull up and say, you need this, you need that, blah, blah, blah. Give me this, give me that. Were you here? They then chase ensues, and then they crash land on this ice planet. And then he has to fix his ship, and big giant ice spiders, basically alien spider ice demon things, come along and try and destroy it all. And by the end of the episode, the ship is destroyed essentially, but he's locked himself in the cockpit with his cargo and the child, and then he goes off. That is the episode. Not a lot happens, but a lot happens. We see some really good CG of the frog woman leaping. So she's running when they realise that there's giant ice spiders on this planet. They run away from them, and she's running bipedally, and she switches to quadruped, so she's running on all fours. And that CG, the transition between the two, was good. It's not jarring, actually, and it's a testament to the technological side of the show. And then that's it. Again, there's really not a lot happens, but I liked it all the same. This is the thing. It is very much this, quest here, quest there, sort of slowly builds towards something, and I like it. I don't think it all needs to be go, go, go at all times, at all. So anyway, if you've seen it, please do let me know your thoughts down below. Did I miss anything? Is there anything there that's, cropping up? I didn't think there was anything that sort of signaled to us that there's going to be a big reveal of anything else in another episode. It just seems that Boba Fett will still be a thing, and, we're building towards that by the sounds of it. The planet that they're going to is Trask, I think it was. I don't remember that in anything else, so I don't know whether there's any kind of relevance to that. But good episode, great CG. The effects work is staggering as always, and I like it. This is a breath of fresh air. So let me know your thoughts down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. You can stay up to date on the world of pop culture, movie news, and reviews such as this by hitting the bell notification icon. Thank you all so much for watching, though, guys. I have been Mr. H. Take care. Now, this here is a screenshot from this episode. Obviously, Cheers, Jasper. Obviously, this episode had... Shut up! What are you grumbling for?